What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. This is Cam. This is TWA Motorsports. And today, guys, we are going to be doing a little bit of organization in the shop. I am an organized guy. You guys notice that, like, I'm really meticulous about cleaning interiors and stuff like that. I am generally that way with my stuff being left around. And so this, right now, what I have is a ginormous mess. I just got a lot of stuff and not a lot of places to put it. So that's what we're gonna work on today. We're gonna try to move some stuff around, put some stuff in different places, try to make some more room up against this wall. You can see that now that I've got my Go Jacks, everything's kind of slid up over here out of the way, so I have room to work on this project here. I do have the parts truck that was sitting outside on the Go Jacks because we are getting ready to take some parts off of it, guys. So that is coming in a future video. But today we're going to concern ourselves with moving racks around. I bought a new rack, which I will list in the description down below. This is a muscle rack, which is the exact same stuff that as I've got right here. And I really like them, guys. They're 84 inches high, 84 inches wide. They're relatively strong as far as putting stuff that's pretty heavy. You can see 1,500 pounds per shelf. I will never get to that point, but we're going to be assembling that. So this video is going to have a lot of time lapse, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot, because I'm not planning on cutting in a whole bunch, maybe not at all, and just time lapsing me taking all this stuff down, moving and reassembling. So but my plan is to move these two racks down, which I'm going to have to unload first, and then I'm going to move my Husky is the brand that I got. I'm gonna move those down where those center cabinets straddle that window. And then I'm gonna assemble this rack and put it down at the very end. So my goal in the end here is to have everything, there's a whole bunch of boxes lined up on that shelf. I would love to have all of those boxes on the rack up against the wall. So we have a little more room to move around. Stuff's a little more organized. I've got stuff, a lot of the stuff for the Trans Am is taking up these shelves, but I would like to have a dedicated Trans Am shelf, a dedicated maybe C10 or Silverado shelf for the OBS back there in the back. And I would like to have a parts shelf for just like random parts like those heads and the steering wheel that you see right there, just random stuff. So extra parts, let's call it. But as we get through some of these projects, you know, a lot of this stuff will disappear, but I'm always gonna be tearing stuff apart, always gonna have the need for shelving and stuff like that. But it's to the point where I wanna get stuff a little more organized. So that is the plan today. So I'm gonna set you guys up on the tripod. I don't know how long my helper's gonna be here. He likes to measure stuff, but he may be here for a while. If he is, that'll be great, because we're gonna have to rip all this stuff off the shelves. We're gonna have to take all the stuff out of the inside of the cabinets. They're just too heavy to move without that. And then as far as the toolbox goes, guys, as of right now, I don't think I'll have enough room to have the toolbox also in this area. So I may have to wheel it out here. But I think my ultimate plan is to get a few more of those center cabinets and do away with the toolbox altogether and have everything in a dedicated cabinet like that, because right now I keep all my wrenches in that and all my sockets here, so I'm going back and forth all the time anyway. I would really like to have it more centralized in the middle, and so that's gonna help as well. But either way, let's set you guys up, get started on this time lapse. Isn't it amazing how quickly you can make a mess? I mean, look at how messy this is out here. It's absolutely crazy. But, okay, little bit of a new plan, and the fact that I moved this down, obviously, from where it was at, but I don't want to go any further because the door opening, I'm afraid, is going to interfere with some stuff. I think it'll probably be all right, but I don't want to cover that outlet. And if I go any further, I will. So I'm not going to go any further down with that. But I'm still going to move all this stuff down because I want a rack in the back. But I'm thinking I'm going to take the stuff off the sides of my toolbox over there, and we're going to put it almost right back where it was. I'm going to take the sides off. I've got a paper towel holder. It's magnetic. I think I can just put up here. And this is just for the time being, because eventually I am going to buy some more of these bases, and we're going to get rid of the toolbox altogether. And either way, I told you guys I wasn't going to cut in much. This is probably, until we get to the end, the amount that I will cut in, but it is a lot of work. I think I'm going to go ahead and clean just the shelving off. It's just dusty. I put all the stuff that goes in this guy here, up on my shelf for now. We're going to get that moved back into where it goes. And then the other thing I might do is, because of the spacing of these, there's really no, I feel like I'm wasting space, if that makes sense, because there should be maybe one more shelf in here, and that would make a little more room for me to put more stuff, because the stuff that I have isn't that high. So I may order some of those. They're pretty pricey though. I think they're like 85 bucks for 2 of them, just these shelves, which is crazy to me. But for now, I am going to go ahead and start putting stuff back in. So let's take a look at it all finished up. Well, at least for the most part. So words can't describe how much better this makes me feel about the situation out here, with parts strung everywhere, and still got some work to do, but it is so much better, guys. And I know you didn't see me take like the table down that had all the Trans Am parts on it, but I took that down. There was some cardboard down there. I saved cardboard for like when I need to move something like in a vehicle, or if I need to ship something, or just need to box something up. But this is what we did. So obviously we put that new rack in at the very end, which is identical to these racks. It's a muscle rack. Like I said, I'll list it in the description down below. Absolutely love them. It gives you ample room to put stuff. And we've got things kind of somewhat categorized out. The other thing though, as I told you, I would really like to eventually maybe get a couple more, maybe 3 more or even 2 more of those Husky boxes, and then do away with the toolbox. But for now, I thought it made more sense to do it like this. I took everything off the side of my toolbox here. So I had the paper towel holder that you see up there and the glove holder that was kind of all part of this. I moved that up since it's magnetic, just stuck it to the side. Actually makes a little more sense there. And all this room now I have on top of the tables because I'm able to get everything on a shelf. So kind of, I'll break it down into, like, the gas cans, the lawnmowers and stuff aren't normally going to be in here, so that's why they're kind of there for now, but I did have those at the end. So pretty much everything on this rack are either extras, or it's going to be a little bit before I get to them. So like the heads down there, I think eventually they'll go on that 6-liter back there. There's some LS6 heads. That's why they're there. Other than that, a majority of this is stuff that's just like extra parts. So off of the Trans Am or past projects, which this rack is going to stack up because I have a shed out there that has more parts, and we're going to be moving. This is kind of going to be my extra rack. And then I've got the 3rd row seats from the Yukon up there. I don't know why, but I have the original thing for my ZR1, the engine cover. But onto this rack, we've got stuff that we were going to be working on hopefully soon. You could see the subwoofers that I took out of the truck. Those are going to go in something else. The LS7 or LT7 or whatever, the thin square woofer is going to go in something eventually. We got OBS parts up top. This guy right here is actually a hitch for the 720, the little Nissan pickup. That's taking up a lot of room. That's going to be gone relatively soon. I'm going to put a hitch on that truck for my son to use it for lawn mowing. Everything basically from here over is stuff for the Yukon. Just about a majority of all of that is the drop. So that's going to be happening relatively soon. So all those boxes for the most part will be gone. I may use the spring box and like the spindle box, which actually I don't have a spindle box, but I may use the spring box to put the old springs on, but then that'll go over here. And then this is all for the 55. So I've got brakes and a new master for the 55, as well as the brake lines that were laying on the ground. On the bottom, you know, just some extra tools, more of the brakes for the 55. And then all of these boxes in this area right here are for my dad's truck. So once his truck is finished in paint, we're going to put all these new parts on it, which I will show you guys in that video. And we will have those boxes out of the way. So I'm really going to clear up a lot of room relatively quickly, because just the drop on the Yukon and my dad's truck, that's almost a whole section right there. And so I'm not going to have any extra parts for the most part left over on either of those. We're going to toss them. So on to the racks, obviously, or sorry, the shelving. I did move the inside shelving around a little bit, and I ordered 2 more of these. That's why you see stuff still on the table over here. I moved this shelf up, and then I ordered 2 more of these. They come in a pair. I'm gonna put 2 more of those. I don't know why that didn't go all the way back, but I'm gonna put 2 more of those, one in this one and one in the other one. But everything's nice and organized. These are a lot of like extra screws, nuts, bolts, bulbs, all my paint stuff, obviously towels, and all the electronics, so wiring, wire loom, stuff like that is all in here. Didn't do much with the toolbox, like I said, other than moving it down a little bit up against the shelf. Everything's kind of up close, and that's really nice because like I told you guys before, I keep all my wrenches in this first one and all my ratchets here, but I was having to walk down here to put the wrenches up, back down here to put the sockets up, this makes more sense. As a matter of fact, I was cleaning some stuff up last night and I walked down here just out of, you know, you get to a point where everything's, you know where it's at. So it's going to take a little bit of getting used to, but, and then same thing here. We've got kind of like grease, oil, brake fluid, antifreeze, stuff like that. Right here is where I'm going to put that other shelf. And so that'll be really nice to have. And then once I get that other shelf, I'll put like this stuff that I have left over. I could probably tuck that away in one of these boxes, but since I'm going to have the extra shelving, I'm going to do that. Now, down to this is really what I wanted to get accomplished, and that is get all the Trans Am stuff on one rack. So every single thing on this rack goes to the Trans Am. Obviously, guys, once we finish the Trans Am, which the whole goal is to move stuff around and get some stuff fixed. That was the whole goal of this project, is to make my life not crazy when I walk out here not knowing what to do. This whole rack will be empty for the most part, because any extra stuff that I take off will go down to that very last rack. So this is going to be kind of like the tear apart rack for projects. So if once we get the Trans Am done and maybe move to the OBS or something like that, this will be the rack that houses all that stuff. So I like that, having like a tear down rack, and hopefully this area right here can be that tear down area, so we can get everything stripped in this bay, put on this shelf that we're taking off, and then back on, and so on. Now, does that mean I'm not going to work on the OBS until the Trans Am's done? It doesn't necessarily mean that, but I do like having that extra rack for that. We push the engine back here, the wiring harness, and the little table, and then the 4L80 that I actually have decided is going to go in the green truck, like I talked about in a video a while back. That's going to be happening hopefully very soon, so that'll be out of the way. And then my vise and my bench grinder. The vise I can still get to right there. I just got stuff kind of tucked up there. The bench grinder I generally don't use over in this area because it's by the motor. I generally carry it outside, relatively easy to move around. But all in all, guys, the amount of room that I gained by doing this, now look, the truck is shoved up here right now, but the amount of room that I gained is so nice. And just coming out here and seeing things somewhat organized is so much nicer. I'm telling you guys, I can't say it enough. And then over here, it's kind of a mess still, but we've got the 6-liter. A lot of the parts that you see down here are from the truck. Now the headers, once I get that hitch installed on the Nissan, the headers are actually gonna go up there and will be out of the way. But for the most part, everything else there, other than the K-member for the Trans Am, will be out of the way once we get the trans back in. And then I'll move the rest of the stuff kind of where I need it. I moved the Circle D box for the converter for this thing over here because it was over on the floor. But all in all, guys, I am really, really happy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments of the new organization. This is kind of how I am. For it to get as bad as it was really bothering me when I'd walk out here, because I didn't have room to tear anything apart. And now I don't know, there's just like a sense of relief about having that. So very soon, actually probably in the next video, guys, you're gonna see me start tearing some parts off this truck. Like I said, I really want to get this thing. There's some stuff that I need to strip off of it, but you'll see that in what it is in the next video. But if you guys did enjoy this little organization video, sorry it was a lot of time lapse, but I didn't want to bore you with me slowly putting stuff up. It was nice to have my son out here, my youngest son anyway, and my wife helping move stuff around, clean, sweep, and whatnot. But if you did enjoy it, like always, please smash that thumbs up button. Guys, if you are not subscribed, go down there, hit that subscribe button. Of course, ring that bell icon. That notifies you every single time we drop a new video. And stay tuned to see what we work on next.